So here with me, the great Chris Mock, first, of course, quarterback for the Montrose Redhawks. But now he's on to greater pastures, on to Concordia, Nebraska, one of 3 Western Slope players to sign the dotted line to play for the Bulldogs out there in Seward, Nebraska. Well, first of all, Chris, sitting here on this field, you look back over here and you remember all the incredible memories from this past season, and obviously, the seasons before that, waiting your turn almost, and just kind of what are the emotions now? I mean, here in the summer, it's over, you're on to that next chapter, but we're here at the stadium and all those memories flood back.
I've been here a few times over the last few months. I was helping out with track a lot, but it's been kind of like surreal to like walk across the field and be like, oh, that's where that happened, that's where that happened. Remembering all like the fun memories from practice are my favorites. So it's cool to like still be around here, to be a part of things here, and it's a great place to not have to leave forever.
It is, and you can always come back, you can always visit, and you always can. Obviously, it's going to be tough during the football season, but whenever you can visit to potentially see a game, I mean, the atmosphere at this stadium, it really is the premier football program on the Western Slope. And your story, Chris, is so unique, waiting your turn, kind of being the protege to Montrose's winningest quarterback of all time, Gage Wareham. And then your turn came, and it was amazing to me and so many people covering the team that there was absolutely zero drop-off. You came in and you were so ready for that moment. Talk about the years leading up to that moment that you finally got your senior year to be the leader of this team, to be the quarterback, to lead this team to it's an undefeated season for you, really.
It was a lot of waiting, a lot of just honing my craft. Gage was awesome. We're still great friends to this day. He helped me learn like the ins and outs of the offense, Me and Coach Appling were still tight friends now. Like, it was just a perfect situation. Like, I don't know who I'd rather would have backed up or been coached by for those 3 years leading up to it, that when it just came that time, it was just like, of course, this is just what happens. It's not, now I have to be a quarterback. It's just, it's my turn. So it was less of just filling in shoes as much as it's just, instead of Gage Wareham under center, it's Chris Mock. I can play my game, but I'm still going to do what's needed for the team.
That's awesome. And, as a quarterback, it's tough in this type of offense. I mean, I noticed it immediately the first time I was here at fall camp, the arm that you had, the ability to throw it all over the yard, but it's not really showing off in an offense like this. I mean, you throw it one time a game and it was seemingly a 50-yard touchdown every time, but how difficult is that as someone who's trying to play quarterback at the next level and trying to show off their arm abilities? I mean, how do you kind of stay focused, stay team first when, virtually every single play is a run call?
Well, you got to take advantage of your opportunities. That's honestly part of the thought process after the games. I could go, oh, that can go on the highlight reel kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And not necessarily like saying, these times are about me. I always wanted to be about the team first. But, taking advantage of each opportunity and know that it's not impossible. Like Cam Ward played in the wing too when he was in high school. Yep. So, I mean, just take advantage of it, win games, and know that if it's in God's will, I'll get the next year on me.
It's amazing. And what is it about this program? It just feels like the way this team operates together. It obviously football is the ultimate team sport, but Montrose feels like the ultimate team. It just they come at the opponent in waves, and you guys run your offense truly as an 11-man unit. Everyone is incorporating and getting those 5-yard chunk plays and just moving the ball methodically. And I mean, so many moments. At the end of that Pueblo West game, you needed a 7-minute drive, no problem for you guys. Slowly down the field, score a touchdown to win the game with 11 seconds. I mean, what is it about this program, the job that Coach Mertens does and his staff to be able to, for you guys to, despite not being in a big city, despite not having, a lot of the amenities that Broomfields and the other schools on the Front Range have, that you guys just seemingly are the tougher, more close-knit team on the field?
Well, there's a couple things, honestly. Like, all the way from youth football up until senior year, the system is so perfect. Like, Josh Maddox was my best receiver in 4th grade flag football, if you can believe that. And then just the art of football, really. Our coaches have done an amazing job building our playbook. Like, our offense is so intricate. Like, we were at 7-on-7 the other day. I was there watching my brother, and he called out one of the plays, and the CMU coach was like baffled because it's just so like, what does that even mean? Yep. Like, it's such an art form, and it goes down to every little bit that it's insane. Like, if you can genuinely learn how intricate our system is, it's unbeatable, really. I don't understand how. Like, it's just a perfect form of football. I love the wing tee.
And the way you guys just play together, and the way you guys have, honestly, the entire offense has seemingly mastered it. They, especially towards the end of the year, you guys know what you're doing. And again, it's a well-oiled machine. That's really what this program is, what this offense has become. And it's going to be the same way next year. I'm excited to be here covering it next year. But, when you look back at your senior season, I mean, obviously coming in, remember that first game against Durango, right? It's your first time as a starter. I remember talking to you before, what is that going to feel like to finally get to run out there as the leader of this team, as the starting quarterback? And then it just felt like you were so comfortable in that role from the very first snap to the end for you.
Yeah, it was just like it had been my dream since I was a kid. I'd gone through a lot in youth football and just life in general, that when it came time, it was like, this isn't something that I need to step up for. This is what I've been preparing for. I've been working for it. This is just the next step. So when I got into the shoes, when I'm under center for the first game against Durango, had one of my best plays of the year in that game. Man, I never topped it. But it just felt like this is what was necessary. It was what was next. It wasn't anything bigger or anything. It was just a high school football game.
It really is. And your command of the offense and your comfortability as a leader really shined through pretty early on. And unfortunately, the season ended short for you, and you didn't get a chance to be in those last couple playoff games, getting hurt in, in the first playoff game. So you can kind of talk about that. Obviously, it was heartbreaking in the moment, and it was amazing for me to see somebody covering the team, to see the way you handled it, to be able to not make it break you. You stayed humble, you stayed part of the team, and you found ways to help the team in ways we never really thought was imaginable. I mean, basically being the quarterback coach for Cade Saunders, I mean, being his guy and helping him get this team all the way to the state championship and almost to a title.
Well, I mean, I'm not honestly mad about it. In the first, few minutes afterwards, of course, there was denial. I was like, no, I'll be fine. It's just a twinge. But I knew my season was over pretty quick. And advice from Kirk Cousins, honestly, came to mind, where he was playing against Notre Dame, biggest stage of his life in Michigan State, and he threw a pick right after his coach told him, just don't throw a pick. We have a field goal in the bag. And then his first thought was, thank God my life isn't built on football. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the sport, I love the team, but I'm just so glad that this wasn't all I lived for, because then my life would have been crushed. I was able to use football as a way to express who I am, bring people together, explore my faith, not just say, oh, I like throwing touchdowns, but to say, pre-game, I go right over there and I pray, and everyone watches that and it makes an impact. And to know that I wasn't just a quarterback, I was Chris Muck, I was this leader, I was this guy people look to. And to be able to just, even things like just start coaching. I love coaching. Me and Cade got together great. And to just start that experience as well it was a blessing. It sounds crazy to say it, but I'm so glad I hurt my shoulder.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
We're
gonna get shot.
We're getting the sprinklers here, so let's quickly move this over a little bit. I mean, it's amazing, right? Because you mentioned it, right? It's more than just being the quarterback, more than just throwing the touchdowns, and it really was. You became a coach. But what's amazing is that through it all, and it obviously happened, really for the worst time, right at the most important part of the season as you're trying to achieve your goal. But for you to be able to still help the team in so many different ways as a leader, as a coach, as a mentor for Cade, what were some of the things that you tried to do and that you were able to do to help that team? I mean, some tense moments in that Pueblo West game, and Cade was just calm through it all, and I don't think he would have been if not for you.
Oh, Cade's a really good dude. Honestly, it sounds funny. He's a sophomore, but I look up to the kid. And his older brother was really cool to me when I was younger, going through being a backup. And honestly, he was the best kid to be in that situation. I helped him learn footwork, but he's the most calm, cool, collected kid I've ever met. Genuinely, we've said it in practice, I get dogged on it sometimes, but he's the best backup we ever had. Then he's going to do great when he gets to be the starter. But it's just, he's such, nothing shakes the kid. He was the perfect guy for that job. I don't want to take credit from him. I was able to give him pointers. I'm don't worry about the crowd, this and that. But really, he was ready. We worked enough during the season when I was healthy, giving him tips then and over the summer, that it was Cade's turn. It was another thing like me taking over for Gage. It wasn't like Cade needed to step up. It was just his turn. And it just happened to be in the late middle of the season,
It's amazing, and it gets me excited for next year because Cade, he's had that experience. He knows what it takes to win, and he's going to be ready to go come next season. But you mentioned best backup quarterback ever. I would argue it was you when you were the backup to Gage, and that's what's so amazing and kind of just the epitome of this program, right? You know, to go from Gage to you down to Cade, just all three of you guys are always ready for your moment. We're never sad to be a backup, never unhappy to be a backup, and even Gage was a backup, you know, his freshman year, and so you kind of all went through it, knew what it took to be the leader and the quarterback of this group. And again, it all kind of comes back to Coach Mertens and his staff and the way that they've taught you guys and the way that they've, you know, given you guys those values to be able to be so team first. And it's at the end of the day what makes this program so special.
Honestly, just the group we have. I think we got really, really lucky with the last few years of guys where we all just genuinely love each other. Like, we've gone through so much adversity together, even, you know, outside of football. Like, I think that was the big thing, is that we were friends and tight-knit outside of the sport itself. Right. Like, even times, you know, at camp when we were, hate to say it, not happy with the coaches, but it was through our own fault, but we could get together and say, hey, let's play for us. Let's do our thing. And then it was just, I play for Zach and Zach plays for whoever. Like, it was less about let's win games and it was more about let's take care of each other. And like, we do genuinely care. We work hard. Like, times in the weight room, it is some insane workouts in the weight room, I'll tell you that. Like, the days when they tell you don't pick up any weight were the bad ones. And we just go die in the weight room. Like, we've just been through so much together. And it keeps going every year the way the coaches have built it, that everybody just genuinely cares outside of the sport, and then the sport just ends up being a byproduct of everyone loving each other. And it just works so well.
Yeah, and the work you guys put in the offseason in the weight room, it shows up on the field, because the toughness displayed by this Red Hawk program, it's unmatched anywhere in the state. And I mean, Broomfield has, you know, all this talent, all these speedsters, great quarterback, but in that first half, they were ill prepared for the toughness, for the play style, for the grit, just for the entire mantra, you know, not mantra, what's the word? Sort of just mantra, that's the word I'm looking for, of Montrose football. They weren't ready for it. You know, kind of talking about that championship game, you got a, you know, chance to experience it from a different perspective, being there right on the sideline. I mean, obviously I was there as well, and it was unbelievable atmosphere. The entire town was out there for you guys, and obviously an incredibly disappointing end to not be able to come out on top, but there's nothing to hang your heads on. I mean, that was Montrose football going up against one of the best programs in the state, going toe-to-toe, leading the game by 21 points at the half, or 14 points at the half, up 28-7. Kind of talk about that game and just what it was like in that first half to feel that lead, to feel that just the momentum on your side, and then obviously the pain and the agony of losing it in the end.
Well, it was a weekend I never forget. Like, we were leaving town, the entire town is lining Townsend Avenue with just giant semis. This is the most Montrose thing ever. Like, we had this whole thing all year, Montrose America. Like, this is just that country song place that everyone just loves, the town's high school football team. And it genuinely did show. Like, we get up to CSU and we're feeling it just as much in our section as like the D1 school has. And it's like, people are driving 6 hours to support us. It was the most insane environment I'd ever been a part of. And we came out so fast and just started pounding them. Like, I was like, oh, this is great. And then, I mean, we probably got a little too cocky in the locker room at one point. I mean, I don't want to say we said we had it done. Like, we were still like, hey, there's still a half. But once we got out there in the second half, it just, you know, they got away from us, and we scored less points and lost a high school football game. So
that's sports, right? You know, you won every other game before it to get to that point. So you can't win them all. You can't win them all, and sometimes you run into a team that just simply had more talent, more speed, and more kids. I mean, you look at their bench. I mean, they had like double the roster. You know, just so many more kids to choose from. A lot more infrastructure out there from a football perspective, and obviously a very different play style than Montrose with that spread offense. But kind of, what was your role during that game? I mean, I saw you, doing the signals and all that. You basically, I mean, you looked like the OC out there. I mean, I think anybody on the other sideline would have never realized you were the quarterback. It just seemed like you were just one of the assistant coach calling plays. Yeah,
there were a couple people after the first few games I was calling plays and I thought I was appling and that he was on the field again. But it was, I did hand signals and stuff. Most of it was just going around checking on guys, making sure we're doing good, being the vibe guy kind of thing. It just doing my leader job, just not with pads on this time. And it was just nice to just, I don't know how to say it, like, I didn't have to get hit, but I could still put in all the same effort, just in a different way. Like, I was able to just still be the leader that I am for my guys and just from a distance, I guess.
That's important. And I mean, that it's still the same way in that the whole team still sees you as a leader and understands you as a leader and listens to you as a leader, and that's important. And that's just a part of the team aspect of Montrose, and you guys hanging out together. Everyone understands what everyone can bring to the table, whether they're on the field or not. And before we talk about the next chapter and going to Concordia and all that, if you can, I mean, there's so many great moments. I'm thinking about that long touchdown to Chase Meehan here, right? Was it against Doherty? I think just a beautiful bomb, but obviously the last second touchdown against Pueblo West. If there's a play, if there's a moment, if there's an experience, what is one thing that maybe sticks out to you that you consider your favorite moment as a Montrose Red Hawk?
My freshman year, we were playing Palisade right out here. We were down probably 16 points at half, and in freshman football with 2 running teams, that's a pretty big deficit. And we scored once, gave them the ball back, something, I don't remember the full game, but there was at one point, they threw a deep post ball to one of their kids, and he dropped it, turned over on downs. We had one more game-winning drive to go win the game against them. And then we took pictures in the locker room. We were cheering around, and it was that core group of guys. It was us seniors. Like, we didn't keep all of them, but it was those core, like 14 guys at least of us, were just sitting there and enjoying the sport for what it was. And we kept that through those 4 years, and we're able to just, like, that was our starting point. Like, freshman year, just balling around, having fun, playing against Palisade, and then it went on to playing at Canvas Stadium against the best 2 teams in the state.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It just shows, freshman football is awesome. And, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, you come out here, and these kids are battling. These kids, are trying to earn the respect and earn those future spots in the team to be able to do what your senior class was able to do and finally take Montrose back to the state championship. So now it's time, right? In a month's time, you're going to be heading off to Nebraska, on to the next chapter. First of all, what are those emotions like? I know everyone kind of experiences differently leaving high school. Some people dislike high school a lot. Some people have the high school is the best time of their life, especially for you being the quarterback of a great football team. I'm sure there's so many great memories that come back, but what are sort of the emotions now as you realize that the next journey is on its way?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sad to leave. It's an amazing place. I love Montrose so much. I have so many good people here that I have to, leave behind. And I'm going to a school where no one else here is going. Like, that's a really odd thing. Usually when kids graduate, they're like, I got my buddies going here. Right. So that's different, but I couldn't be more excited to step into the next chapter with new people and just learn the things that I care about. That's the big part, is I get to study stuff I actually care about. I don't have to take biology again. But, it's just going to be exciting to, see a new space, do something I've been working on for 12 years now, and to just, be me.
It's awesome. Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, you mentioned obviously nobody from Montrose going there, but we do have 2 kids from the Western Slope. How much have you spoken to them? It's you guys are going to be teammates, and it's cool because you played against each other. Well, yeah, I guess you never did.
JV.
JV, but hold on. Did you play Central at any point?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We played them for homecoming.
Right, that was a homecoming game, and you played them on the road 2 years ago. So you played Antonio Reyes. I wish you guys could play Grand Junction. That would have been a cool game last year. That would have been a cool game last year. I would have loved to see that. Montrose at Stoker against Grand Junction. That was always hoping if Grand Junction could just find a way to make a run in their bracket.
We were doing the math. We were like, they got to do this.
Exactly,
this. We were like, get them on our side. Let's play them.
Exactly, and then hopefully they would have moved the game to Stoker Stadium. Would have been the biggest game ever played there. That would have been unbelievable. But Aiden Boss, Antonio Reyes, both going to Concordia, Nebraska. What has been the dialogue there between you guys, and how cool is it to be able to have 2 other guys that know what it's like to grow up and play football in the Western Slope heading out there to Nebraska to start a new chapter in their lives as well?
Oh, we've talked about it a little bit. We're all really excited. Like, it's a different type of life. We go from mountains to rolling hills, but I mean, we're all cool people. Like, we all are similar in our own ways, and I think we're going to be great friends for the rest of our lives now just because of Concordia, and I'm super excited to get to, spend every day with them for the next 4 years.
It's awesome, and, it can really become such a great friendship, because you guys have those similarities that no one else in the team will have being here from the Western Slope and knowing what it's like to grow up playing football here. And then obviously, not just that, Coach Mertens, his alma mater. What has he told you as far as the place is concerned? I know a lot has changed since he's been there, especially from a football perspective, but what has he told you about it, and what has kind of his advice been, being that he went to school there and played there?
Well, me and Mertens are actually a lot alike in a lot of ways, and so we were able to talk about just the town in general, and he said, you're going to love it here, I know it. So we were able to just say that, it's going to be a great place. It's a lot like Montrose, small town, one school place, and it's, faith-based school. It's got everything I'd ever want there. And Coach Dabricow was a longtime good friend of Merton's, so it was just a perfect setup. It was just, one of those where it's like the next logical step. It just made sense, and it felt right in the heart, felt right in the head. So we were all able to just, make the right decision. It was like Concordia's a no-brainer.
It all came together, right? It all came together.
Easiest decision of my life.
It's amazing, and that's the way it should be, and that's when it's the best, when it's not a difficult decision, when it just makes so much sense, and it just seemingly like just meant to be, right? That was the place where you were meant to go. And so from a football perspective, it's a 2-year school, correct?
Oh, no, it's 4 year.
Oh, it's 4-year. Okay, so obviously as 4-year school, you're not expected to play a ton early on, but kind of for you, you didn't have a ton of games experience throwing. What type of offense do they run there? How are you going to fit into that? And how much are they going to ask you to throw it when you do get in there? And obviously, a lot of practice work as far as getting to game speed and getting used to being a, 15, 20 pass per game guy.
First thing Coach Debricow told me when I had my first meeting with him on my visit was that I'll probably throw it more times in the first drive than in an entire game there. So, it's going to be a little different, but, 3 years in the practice squad, I played quite a bit of spread against one of the best defenses in the state. So it's not like it's going to be a crazy adaptation. I may not have been the varsity quarterback playing spread, but it's going to be like, oh, this is like that one time I was Erie that week. But I get to do that for 4 years and hone my craft in on that. It's very different offense, but it's going to be like second nature the most. I've played every offense I can on the scout team, so it's just going to be like, it's the next step.
That's honestly a great point. I hadn't really considered, right? You spent 3 years as the backup. You know what it's like to be that scout team quarterback, to play against the first team defense that's, competing for state championships, and do it in so many different offenses and learning all those different styles. And that is incredibly helpful going to a new style of offense and, now having to throw the ball a bunch of games. So what is kind of the goal for you at Concordia? Is it, do you want to, play maybe your sophomore year? Or what are you kind of going and thinking? Is it just kind of every single day, hone my craft, get better at throwing, get better at learning the offense, and then when the time comes, you'll be ready type of thing?
I'd love to, of course, every kid's dream is to play freshman year, start the whole way through. But truly, I just want to enjoy it for what it is. I want to take it one day at a time. If I play, I play. If I don't, I don't. I'll be prepared. I'll be ready. I'll be the best that I can. And really just enjoy the moment, really, because, 2% of college athletes are actually able to go play in college, or 2% of high school athletes are actually able to play in college. Right. So it's just a blessing to be able to be one of those people in the 2% and just truly enjoy the opportunity that I have.
It's amazing. It's happening. Yeah. We're on to the next journey. It's amazing. What a career, what a story. To be able to battle through the injuries, stand tall, remain as a leader. Now, hopefully, is the shoulder feeling good? You're back to throwing? Everything's good to go?
Yeah, I'm in the weight room. I'm throwing. I'm doing everything again.
It's awesome.
I feel great. It's like I never left.
He's back. And what have the coaches told you as far as, can you compete for a starting job freshman year, or how is that going to work?
They do have a guy that they say is their quarterback one. They say, Coach Debricow's advice, never come in your freshman year expecting to play. Right. But if I am the guy, I'm the guy. Yep. They're taking the best at each position. They'll make the best choice for the team. So we'll see when we get to campus in August.
Listen, quarterback's the most important position in all sports. If there's a better guy behind the starter, they're going to put the better guy in. And you just keep working, you keep sticking with it, you keep practicing, keep getting better, opportunities will come, because you're a talented player and you're an incredible leader, an incredible teammate, and a great kid. Chris, you're the man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.